Hello. No prizes for guessing where we are today, but I'm just recalling what was said at the Lagan Valley DUP offices on Saturday at midday. There was a fantastic group of us there, four excellent speakers, and they even let me say a word or two. So I was just really reflecting on the reason why we had gathered there and asking the question why we were there. And we were saying that we were there because the Lagan Valley DUP offices are the epicenter of the DUP games that have been played over the last 2 years. It is the base of Paul Givan, the former First Minister, who resigned last year after another former occupant of the offices, Edwin Poots, performed a stunt on Groundhog Day back on the 2nd of February. This brought the executive down. We have probably almost forgotten, but Edwin Poots also more recently conveniently relocated to the other end of the Lisburn Road in South Belfast. But perhaps not bizarrely, his name is still on the door of the Lagan Valley offices. But 18 months ago, this party, the DUP, was fighting with each other like rats in a sack and in meltdown as their protocol worries set in. It was perhaps appropriate that they were in Downing Street a few days ago to provide shoulders for Liz Truss to cry on. But at the time of recording, actually, Rishi Sunak has just taken over. The DUP and the Conservatives have common traits: rushing things through, lack of attention to detail, exploiting the system, and obsession with one subject, whether it is Brexit, the protocol, or growth. Many of us are tired of the DUP trying to pass off all of unionism as doing a boycott of the Assembly whenever it is just the DUP and their masters, the TUV, who are directly trying to block it, unlike all the other parties, including the UUP. Their mandate, DUP and TUV, is the same as the vote against the Good Friday Agreement in 1998. In other words, there is no more support now not to support these institutions than there was in 1998. It is almost exactly the same figure. We have heard about this situation from several angles today, but what we all agree on is that we all have to multitask. We cannot be too fixated on the one concern when we are almost in a worse situation or as bad a situation as we were during World War II. We need to work together. We need to have a common purpose. We have to believe in a better way together. The many urgent day-to-day issues cannot wait. We are facing huge threats to our lives and to our social cohesion. We understand the identity concerns. We cannot eat a protocol, however. We can be critical of the exploitation of the system, but we would also like to offer encouragement. We would like to offer encouragement to Sir Geoffrey Donaldson MP, who is of the Lagan Valley office, but not often in it because he's over in Westminster. This time last year, he was lobbying for double jobbing, and he still got it by proxy because he can walk back into the Lagan Valley offices anytime that he wants, even though he ignored a mandate of 12,000 because it was not convenient. So yes, we encourage him to show that he can be capable of multitasking, that he can let his special bill be tested by the Lords, now with the extra persuasion of Arlene Foster and Peter Weir, of course, as well. This party has reached the break-even point of credibility. It is time for them to make the jump. Otherwise, nobody is going to celebrate when Sir Geoffrey Donaldson rides up the Prince of Wales Avenue here on a white horse up to the executive office. So the DUP is overdue. The DUP is almost out of time. The deadline is 1 minute past midnight on Friday, the 28th of October. But it is still in their hands whether there is a local election or whether we end up with a general election. It is still in their hands to make themselves relevant again. So do the decent thing, former First Minister Paul Givan, Sir Geoffrey Donaldson, and Edward Poots, who now resides at the other end of the Lisburn Road in South Belfast. We understand your concerns, but don't do the same as the floundering Conservatives. Don't remain obsessed with the one item while the people around you begin to get cold and hungry and more ill. It is perhaps time for Emma Little Pengelly to go back to the bar or to do some other kind of a job swap. But please honour your mandates for the Assembly. Let us all have our Speaker Chamber and committees. We all have to eventually return to the Good Friday institutions, and we all have to return to the reality and the potential of reform and development. Therefore, Sir Geoffrey needs to show the gallantry of a knight and get into the Assembly while he still has a shred of honour. It is good to see the governments working together better now, but it is also essential that they do not use us, the ordinary people, as pawns. So the governments have to no longer keep loopholes open. And this means that once they are in, this is not the end. But even if they are in, reform has to come. And the government has to put this at the top of their agenda, because the people will not accept another impasse. The old favouritism for two parties must end now, so that all parties continue to take their places according to their intentions and to their mandates. We are all ready to move on, and we are all ready to take responsibility and make this place better for everybody. The time to blame others is over. The time to be better with each other and for each other is here. Thank you very much.